Today we're gonna make quiche. I've got two. I'm gonna make a bacon, egg, and cheese and a turkey sausage and cheese. We're not gonna put onions in it. We're not gonna use weird herbs and spices. This is regular down home quiche. So I have two frozen pie crusts that I rolled out and froze in the freezer for 30 minutes. And now I'm going to put some tin foil down in the middle, because we need to bake these slightly, and they need to be warm when we add our egg filling. So I've also preheated the oven to 375 degrees. If you have pie weights, now is the time to use them. And if you're like me and you're too cheap to buy them, let me introduce you to beans. So I'm going to fill one of these with beans, which ironically is labeled as pie weights in my kitchen because they've been used before. And I'm going to fill the other one with rice. You just need something that's heavy enough to weigh down the crust, because as it bakes, all of that butter and shortening and the yummy goodness is going to try to rise up and separate, and you don't want that. I want a flat crust at the bottom. So I need something that weighs enough to keep the crust down while it's baking. So 375 degree oven, we're gonna slide these two in for the next 25 minutes, and while that's cooking, we'll make our filling. So while our crust is in the oven, par baking, we're gonna make our fillings. Now I have two separate bowls because I'm making two separate quiches. I have one child who would die for bacon, and I have a husband who does not eat pork. So I have turkey sausage, and I have low sodium bacon. So 8 slices of bacon. I'm just going to crumple up. If you want to be fancy and chop it, you can, but I have discovered that that just makes another utensil that my husband has to clean up at the end of the day, and it doesn't change the way it tastes. So, crumpled up bacon. I have 8 slices, and it's really to your taste buds. If you want more bacon, add more. And then I have 1 cup of Colby Jack cheese. Stir this together, and then when that crust is done, we're going to pour this down the bottom of the pie plate. So we're going to set that aside for now and work on our sausage. So I have a cup of crumbled turkey sausage that I cooked this morning, so it's lukewarm. Some of these pieces are a little big, so I'm just going to crumble them up a little and add the same cup of Colby Jack cheese, stir it together, and set it aside. Just like that. Now, the good stuff. So, because I am making 2, and there is no reason why I can't pour my egg mixture on the top of each one, I'm going to make them both in the same bowl. If you are only making one of these, cut your recipe in half. So I'm going to start with 10 eggs, 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, 2 cups of whole milk, and whole milk is important here. You need the fat to bind it all together. Using 2% has just never worked for me. And we're going to whisk them all together. Making sure that we break up all of those egg yolks. And then I'm going to add a teaspoon of black pepper and a half a teaspoon of salt. And then we're going to set this aside and wait for our pie crust to be done. So our pie crust has been in for about 27 minutes. Took a little longer to get that golden brown color that I was looking for. Now I'm going to do is grab 2 pieces of this tin foil. Right there to cool. And then I'm going to do the same with the rice. There we go. I'm going to reduce the temperature on the oven to 350. I'm going to scoop my filling into that warm pie crust. The meat part. Do it again on this side. Spread it all around to make sure there's a little bit everywhere. Stir one more time just to make sure it's all together, and then pour. And there we are. I'm going to very gently slide this back in. Wipe down that spill. And cook this for another 45 minutes. So our quiche took about 50 minutes instead of 45, but they are out of the oven. You want them to be a little jiggly, like Jell-O, but not liquid. So they are ready. We're gonna let them sit for about 20 minutes and then we'll carve into them and get to dinner.